Hello, beautiful Glow community. Let's start today. Let's start today by calling back ourselves, calling back our energies, all parts of us. We scatter, we scatter out our energies into the world, others, other places. And so let's just take a moment together. I call back all my energies and all parts of me. Take a breath. I call back all energies, all my energies, and all parts of me now. Take a breath. I call back all energies and all parts of me now. And just take a moment to notice and come in stillness together. You may just place your hands down, resting. Another thing we can say is unscatter, unscatter, unscatter. Like just calling back our energies. Using our breath anchors us. So taking a couple conscious breaths together. If you want to breathe in through the nose, if you want to breathe in through the mouth or breathe out the nose or the mouth, that's up to you. Just finding ourselves. Find yourself in your core, in the entirety of your core. I'll come back a little bit here. In the entirety of your core, your spinal alignment, if you can sit up pretty straight without being rigid or too much. Move a little bit in that body and then breathe up and down your spinal column. Really the vagus nerve runs along that as well, but also just that core of your gut, your heart, right? Your solar plexus, your throat, and just bring yourself back. Finding that calm, centered you as much as you can. That self energy, the essence of all of our beings. It's there. Just take time to try to connect. Connect as much as you can. Even a tiny percentage is connecting. Over time, these type of practices will help you connect more and more to your center, to your core, to the wisdom and wise mind within you, to your self energy, your true self, your core self, your essence, your spirit. Take whatever words really relate for you and find new words. That's fine. This is about you and your practice, to your heart, to our hearts. And so just opening the heart, bring your shoulders back, opening our hearts together a little, calling ourselves back to this practice, to this community, to ourselves, to our hearts, bringing in our self energy, our wisdom together. We're not alone in this. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And just taking this on the mat today. Together. So we'll come over to our mats. Let me put this up here. And let's come to tabletop. One of my favorite ways to start. We're gonna find some self-energy, some calm. And we're just gonna start to move. And remember, you can move in any way that feels good to you. If you need to move in certain ways, especially at the start of the practice, please do. Otherwise, start cat and cow with me. And just be really gentle as you first start to move in. Extend, use your breath. Hollow out your belly. And then exhale. Really let it all drop, your chest, your solar plexus, your belly. Find a little stillness in the exhale. And then inhale, nice and slow. Hold at the top if you can. And then nice slow exhale. Opening the back of the heart, the back body, the lower back, the throat. Let out another exhale. And then inhale. Finding a little stillness in this pose. You may inhale a little more. And slowly exhale. Open through the shoulders, the heart opens forward, the sit bones up and back. Let your front body just relax. And then inhale. And exhale. And then do a couple more at your pace, whatever feels good to you. And then you may move around in those hands. Just really, crunch, crunch, opening those fingers, stretching your fingers and your hands. Even rotating your wrists a few times. Waking up the body. And then we're going to start to turn to our side. And so I'm going to go to my left first. Either is fine, as long as we get both sides. And you're going to come in. This is called salamander. So you can see I'm hollowing out through here, doing my side body, and then I'm looking, and if you want, you can even lift this right foot to look towards that foot, and I'm breathing, and I'm holding for a moment. My eyes are looking at my foot, or back towards my foot. My eyes are open and looking, orientating, resetting the nervous system, and then release, exhale fully. Move a little bit if that serves you. And we're going to come to the other side. So just nice and slow and gentle. You can really feel this in your side body, bringing in a lot of strength. If you want to raise that right foot, or if you're doing the opposite side, look towards that with your eyes open. Use your breath, breathing in and out and holding the position. And coming to center. You may want to stretch your jaw. Just do circles. Shake your head no, really consciously. No. Yes. Okay, now bring we started on the left. Let's do left again. So left leg, and if you did your opposite again, that's fine. Left leg up, staying in tabletop. You can rotate your ankle one way, then the other. If you want to add your opposite arm, a lot of strength and balance here. I tucked my opposite toes. Gives me a little more balance. That's up to you. Shoulder back. Engage that core body. And breathe. Find stillness as much as you can. Let your body move or shake. But just find stillness in your mind as much as possible. And use your breath. And release. And we're going to do the opposite side. So my right leg. Find that core. Find your center. Find yourself. Find yourself as much as you can. And remember, you can always stay down like this if you need to. You can always come down and come back up, right? You're building strength. You could always use a wall and put your foot up against the wall. If you want to add your arm, use your breath, the core. Find yourself here. Let your body do what it's going to do. This is like finding yourself in the hard times, you know. Anchoring in. And coming back. So we're going to do a side version. And for those of you who want to use a block, you can use a block. Okay? It's a lot of strength. So just play with this and bring your left out to the side. If you want to look towards your left foot, and release back. Good. And just for lack of room, I'll turn this way and also I can show you a different way. And we're going to take the right side or the opposite side. And again, feel free to use the wall, use that block, use your breath. If you want to look towards your feet, it's a lot of strength. Use your breath. And come back to center. You can do a cat-cow in between. You can also come back to child's pose for a moment. Just let your arms and your wrists and everything relax for a minute because it is a long time in tabletop. Using your breath, I like to come into Anjali Mudra or the prayer mudra on the top. So you're invited to do so or not. You can place your hands wherever is best for you. And really let your cardiovascular system, your nervous system, start to come into more stillness. You can go into these difficult shapes and come out. And teach our brains, our gut brain, our heart brain, our head brain, our nervous system, our parts of us, that it's okay. That it's okay right now in this moment anyway. And just retrain ourselves, find ourselves, energy, and retrain ourselves. Oh, and stretch. And then one of my favorite poses, puppy pose. So you can use your blocks if you like. I like to use my blocks, or you can also do it without the blocks. And you come up and you extend your arms up, and then your chest comes down towards the floor. And then if you can put your chin on the ground, or you can put your forehead on the ground, or if you're not there, you can put a block there so that your forehead meets the ground. And you extend out and you open through the shoulders. So open your shoulders, your armpits. Use your breath. And for those that want to try a little deeper with the blocks, you add the blocks. It's a little deeper, but it's also a little more accessible, so it can depend on each of our bodies what feels better. Heart towards the ground and stretch that body. Use your breath. This is a great shoulder, heart opener. Good, and then just slowly, consciously coming out and coming back to tabletop. And then starting with the left, since we've been doing that, our left side, our more feminine side, creative side. Lift and bring up your knee if you can. And then work your core. If you want to rise through the upper back, you can do that. Kind of like the cat-cow. Or the cat position in the cat-cow. And then now even extending out. So similar to the cow position and then back to cat. And really working the core. Do as many as you can. You can always take a break. You can always modify as needed. You could just do cat-cow. Or you can raise your leg. And then coming to the opposite side. Holding first. Using your breath. A variation of cat pose. Building a lot of heat and strength. And then extending out and in. Finding some stillness even in movement. And relax. One more child's pose. Just really notice how you feel. Release any tension. And just let your nervous system start to settle. That's a sympathetic response. In a good way, right? Working strength, working the body. We're letting it know that it can on its own time start to relax back. Relax from the effort or efforting. Beautiful. And now let's make our way up to standing, just in any way that's comfortable for you. Coming to the front of the mat. Finding mountain pose. Finding our steadiness. Find your core. Open your heart upwards. Feet anchored and grounded. Legs steady. Open, using your core, chest upwards, shoulders back, and neck just slightly tucked and back. And then almost like your head is going up towards the sky. So you elongate through the back of the neck, shoulders down, and just breathe for a moment. You got this. Like a mountain. And then arms up towards the sky, touching if that feels good to you. Coming back, long spine, nice and slow. Coming down into our first forward bend. So take a moment, you can widen your feet if you like. That always feels good to me. I like my feet a little wider. If you want to go into ragdoll for a couple breaths, just take a moment and really let yourself relax into this position and start opening the back of the legs, the hips, release through the lower back, release through the shoulders and the face, anchoring your feet. Good, and then nice long spine. And then let's find our way coming back to downward dog. And taking a moment in downward dog, if you want to walk the dog, if you want to find stillness, I'm going to come up on my fingertips because that feels juicy for my shoulders. And just take a moment to find your breath, find your downward dog. Yeah, just settle into it. It's like giving me a moment to really drop in. Send your hips up towards the sky, or your sit bones rather, towards the sky, which opens those back hamstrings. Your shoulders open. Relax through the head and neck. Just find your breath. And then roll forward to plank pose, and you can come down on your knees. So modify as you need to. That is totally fine. Finding plank. Rise up through that core. Find yourself. Find your core. Long through the neck. Heart actually coming open. And breathing. Coming to your knees if you already haven't. And a really conscious, use that core, heart open, and really slowly coming down. Okay, we're going to do a cobra here. So bringing your hands back. Nice conscious movement. Anytime you can go into child's pose and take a break. Shoulders back. Feet, I like my feet a little more spread apart. You can also turn your toes out if that gives you more space and room for today. Pelvis on the ground. So my pelvis is anchored, it's grounding. My hands here to the side of my chest. My shoulders up and back, and I start to come up. Maybe you come here. This is great, just breathe. Maybe you come here. What happens is this is opening. It's your front side opening. Maybe you come here. But you should have the pressure release through the lower back, shoulders back, chest is opening. Then you can bring up your neck, slightly opening it. And come back down. You can do crocodile. Use your breath. That really gets our cardiovascular system going in a really beautiful way, like you're alive, right? Release any tension with your exhales. Just let it all go. Oh, that feels so good to me, to my body. Okay, we're going to do that one more time. Okay, so pelvis, ground, and again, you can keep your feet here, here, or here, whatever feels good to you today. So pelvis stays on the ground, shoulders are back, they're not crunching forward, you're moving them back. Neck is elongated, and then you're opening your chest so that it's trying to come up and out like we were in the mountain pose. So you can see that, right? In my back heart, I'm using that back body. Then I'm relaxing through the lower back, and I'm melting. And again, it's fine if you're here, right? Just keep working right there. Right here, right here, right here, right here, okay? There's no right or wrong. It's wherever you're at. They all are juicy, really. And then come back down, back it down. And just sway through that lower back. Just sending nurturing, love, and soft, gentle, conscious movement, like a wave. Through your hips, your back body. Let out all that tension. And downward dog. Make your way, take your time. You may want to come to tabletop. And we find ourselves back in downward dog. Walk the dog a little bit. Find your downward dog. Use your breath. Good, and then walk, or if you want to jump to the top of your mat, come back into forward fold. Up with a long spine. Arms all the way up. And bring them down into Anjali Mudra at the heart. And we're back in mountain pose. Goalpost arms. And we'll go for a back bend here. Relax. Open your core, shoulders down and back. You can tuck your head this way if that feels better for your neck. If you can keep it elongated, you can bring it back. And back to center. Finding stillness. Find yourself. All the way up with the arms, flat back. Nice and slow, bend your knees. Forward fold. Couple breaths. Whatever variation feels good to you. Long spine. Halfway lift. Long through the neck. And then coming back to downward dog. Notice if you have a lot more openness or not. This is a difficult position in many ways. We call it a rest position, but really it's a lot, right? So it's a little bit of both, depending on our bodies and our systems. So just using your breath. And then coming back to plank. Again, your knees can go on the ground. Modify as needed. Find your position. And lift through the core. Soften through the heart. Long neck. Open shoulders. Find yourself. Let yourself shake if you're shaking like I am. And knees down if they're not already. And a very conscious, slow releasing back down. Crocodile. Releasing all that energy. Sighing is wonderful for your nervous system, so sigh. We're going to do Shalabhasana. So we can have our arms out like airplanes. Back, we could also open the shoulders. And we start to lift up. So whatever variation that you choose today, you're lifting up, you're opening through that heart. If you want to bring your legs up too, that's up to you. Stay where you're at and just breathe. It's a little more challenging to breathe, right? But you just stay with it. And release. Coming back. Actually, let's turn our heads to the side. My head is turned towards my right. No worries, whatever side you went to, you can go with that. Do the other side next time. Oh, lots of energy. Sighing and breathing. And releasing. And we're going to do it again. So if you want to do a different variation, feel free, or if you want to do the same variation, whatever works for you. If you want an extra challenge, you can put your arms up. I like opening my shoulders today, so I'm going to do the same variation. In my chest, open, lift. If you want to add your legs up, you can do so or not. It's your practice, just using your breath. If you want to fly like an airplane. Hi, Coral. Hi, sweetie. She likes to fly. Ah, sweetheart. She's my little yogi girl. Oh, good girl, sweetheart. Oh, yes, listen to her. She did a beautiful sigh. She laid down and then she just sighed. We can learn a lot from the animals. And just relax. Turn your head to the opposite side. Hi, Bearcat. Sigh. Lay down just like Coral did. So beautiful. She shows us. She teaches us. Talk about a big heart. She has like the biggest heart energy. Okay, for those who want to join, we are going to go into our back bend pose, Dhanurasana. So lifting your feet, bringing your hands back if you can grab your feet. If not, you can do another Shalabhasana. You can go to child's pose and relax, or even a variation. If you want to stop the recording, you can also get a uh, I keep wanting to say rope, a strap. I have no idea why I could not come up with that word. A strap, a yoga strap, or some kind of strap, and wrap it around your feet if you can't grab, and then you can grab the strap. So feel free and pause this if you want to do that and add that in. Shoulders come up and back again. So you can have your hands on kind of the mid and towards the top, or you can come all the way to the ankles. Okay, either works. They're just a little slight different variation. Keep your knees together as much as possible, and then you begin to lift up. So that's with the feet, or more on the tops of holding your feet. And you open through those shoulders. You lift your legs as much as you can, using your core and your pelvis. And you breathe as best as you can. And again, working with the variation that works for you. I really like this one the best today. And lifting again, 1, 2, 3. Coming back, down, and coming to child's pose. And finding your breath. Find yourself. Let's take a moment here, and then we're going to come up to some standing positions. And then we'll come back down after that and unwind. Okay, and come back to standing. Oh yeah, crack, crack, crack. Take your time. And come standing on your mat the long way like I am. And we're gonna move into a warrior two pose. So spreading your legs apart, giving lots of space. Slowly start to bend that knee, raise through the arms. It doesn't matter how far you come, just matters that you're coming to whatever your slight edge is. Shoulders open. If you want to open your palms to the sky, that can open your shoulders a little bit more. So there's not a right or wrong. Play with that. And just find yourself. Find your strength. Find your core. Make sure you're not just like extending way out like that, but that you're coming in. You're tucking through that core again. This back For me, it's the right hip, whatever side you're on, comes forward, knee comes out, arms out. And then we can start to come back into that reversed warrior. You can look down towards your feet or up towards your hand or in the middle, whatever feels best to you today. And start to come out. Turn to the opposite side. And just nice and slowly finding your way in, your body, your practice, your breath. Using your breath, finding your core, your center, yourself. Look towards the tip of your fingers. Find your edge. And then come over to reverse warrior. At any time, if you need to relax, you can just do this. And you can come back in. Using your breath. And coming to center. My feet are quite wide. Bring your feet a little bit more in. Finding 5-pointed star. Beautiful, look at that shape. Your breath. And then finding a goddess squat. Again, moving your way into this. You can put your hands on your knees and your shoulders back. Put your hands at your heart. And put your hands in goalpost. All of which we've done today. Whatever feels good to you. And just find your breath. And slowly coming out. Coming back to warrior 2. And we're going to do side angle. You can just do it on the knee. If you have another variation you want to do, that's fine. Today I'm going to just do it from the knee. And elongate through the arm. Look up or look down. Whatever feels better to you today. Use your breath. And then slowly transition here. We're just going to do a gentle Trikonasana triangle pose. So you just extend your legs straight. Put your hand on your shin, wherever feels comfortable for you. Open here, open. And again, this shoulder rolls back. You can look down, center, or up. And just use your breath. We're not going at our deepest here. We're really just staying very conscious. And just breathing. And then gently coming out to center. We're gonna switch our feet. Coming into side angle pose, using your breath. Release with those exhales. Elongate here and open here through this front hip. And just find your side angle, your breath. Look either up towards your hand or down towards your foot. Open that lower shoulder and use your breath. Imagine elongating from that back foot all the way up the body, opening and stretching. And then bend into that front knee a little more, using your breath. Find yourself. And then slowly coming to that triangle. Finding your shin. Open again here through that hip. Extend your arm up. Moving my back foot up just a little bit. Open through the shoulders. I have to kind of reopen here. Use your breath. My neck's a little tired, so I'm going to look down. I'm going to make sure I open as I do that, using my breath. Beautiful. And then slowly coming up, let's find our 5-pointed star, find our breath, find ourself. Release. If you want to move your hips back and forth really consciously, can be good. We'll do some hip openers after this as well, just to really beautifully end this practice. Moving through that body. And coming back to goddess pose, our last one. A lot of strength, right? And in this one, we can put our hands on our knees with our thumbs coming forward, and then we can twist and open. Use your breath. And then to the other side. Yeah, that feels good in my body. Although I know from teaching it doesn't always feel good in all bodies. So again, you take what works for you, coming back to center, hands at the heart, dropping in and coming out. And we're just gonna move our feet towards center. Long spine halfway. And come into that forward fold. If you want to widen your feet even more, nice and juicy. If you want to turn towards the front or back of your mat, use your breath. Come into a squat. Actually, we're gonna go from the squat and we're gonna go to downward dog because I forgot what I wanted to do. So go to downward dog. Find your last downward dog of the day. And bring your left leg up. And bring it all the way through for pigeon. Just nice and slow. There you go. Finding your pigeon. You can come here forward as well. So your front leg can be more open in a square if you have that range and mobility. And if not, it can come in closer towards your groin. So it's not really right or wrong. It's the mobility that you have. Find that in your body. In the end, they call it swan. And they do come a little bit more towards the groin. So feel free to do that. Maybe stretch first into a slight back bend. And then come down and forward. Let it all go. Let it all go. Just breathe into that hip, into your body. Sigh out any tension. And just find a position where you can stay here for a little bit. Just breathe at your pace. Just letting go. Giving space for those hips. They hold so many emotions, so we can give space to move through, work with, love on your hips. And any parts of you that are there. I just dropped in even more. See, sometimes it's that time. We need that time in some of these positions to really open. Especially areas like the hips. They take time to open. To trust. Just send your breath there, your love. Let's do 2 more breaths. And then I'm going to give you a choice. You can go back into the downward dog. I said last downward dog, but really for the series. And you can raise your right leg and then bring that forward in pigeon. Or you can bring your right leg up, center, find the position, And then just switch legs gently. So you have a choice. Whatever feels better in your body, come to the opposite side. Find your place where you can stay for a while too, right? It may not be your deepest because you're going to go deep by staying there for a while. And then slight back bend, breath, and just release it all forward. Remember, you can use any props that you want, blocks, whatever works for you in this position, to just be able to really let it go. You may want to massage your forehead if it's on the ground or a block or on a bolster. And just breathe into that hip. Sending love. Sighing out any tension. Using your breath, using your soft energy, compassion for your body, for all parts of you, for whatever your experience is today, or right now in this moment. Let's take 2 more breaths at your pace, no rush. And just begin to slowly come out. And we're going to come towards center. Easy pose. We're just going to end with some forward folds before going into Shavasana. Just bringing our parasympathetic, working our nervous system. We'll start, just bring your right leg out, your left leg tucked in here. If you want to bring that right hip out, and if you want to, I so want to, use some kind of bolster or blankets, or you could even use blocks. And then just start to bend down. We're going to do more of the yin version, so we're not as we're really softening in this. So just relax, soften, and you can soften your spine. You can even round the spine in this version. And you just find, and you kind of just let go, and you just find your natural breath. And just relax into the position. Let it feel good. Yeah, there I just relaxed something in my hip. Sighing that out. No perfection, wherever you're at is good enough. Good enough. And just really slowly coming out. Just consciously switching sides. Take your time. Find that position on the opposite side. It might be a little different. It's a little different for me today. Sigh. Let out any tension. Oh, there we go. Just relax back some more. I can really feel some tension. Relax even more. Take a couple more breaths here. Oh yeah, show us down our dog, Maxie. Yeah. And just slowly on your time, I'm gonna get Max a blanket here. He likes blankets. But slowly coming out of that position. And finding your way to Shavasana. I'll walk you through a Shavasana. Just lying down, relaxing back. Finding your space. Letting it all go. Let the practice go. It's over now. There was no right or wrong, no good or bad. It's all over now. And now you're in this present moment. Just soften your face, your eyes. Just find your natural rhythm of breathing, letting go of any efforting. Soften your jaw. Your shoulders. Soften your mid-body, your core, your lower back, the whole center of your body. Soften your arms, your wrists, your hands, and your fingers. Just letting it all go and melt away. Soften your hips, glutes, thighs, knees, ankles, and feet, toes, and just let yourself melt into the earth. Take all the time you can to nourish yourself here, to bring yourself home. With so much love, yogis. Namaste.